I'm gonna X out of that because it's. Oh, hi everybody! Welcome. I'm so sorry that our Facebook Live got a little bit cray because of technical difficulties. So we are going to be doing this a different way and seeing if this will work any better. Oh no, I am invite LaRue to the broadcast so that she can share with us how she earned over $4,000 just by meditating. We are waiting for her. Lisette was in my. Oh, are you there?
I'm here.
Yay! I hope we can hear you because your story is so good.
No, and I don't even know what I said, honestly. So
it was so good. I was so disappointed. I was just hoping. I'm so sorry because I was just hoping that other people, could hear you.
I think I have about the same amount of people that are on anyway. So if you happen to fall, I don't have my phone propped up so well. So I am apologizing in advance.
Listen, we're just speaking due because your story is so important. So, okay, so I'm going to probably ask you the same questions because probably nobody heard you, unfortunately. So share with us a little bit. I know, we're looking at the ceiling. Was that?
Sorry. I'm back. I'm going to try not to move.
You know what I do? I put my phone on the back. I put my laptop propped up and I put my phone on the screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. But I actually, you know those cool
Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hello? Are you there?
Hello. I am here.
Hello? Okay. So, Lisette, why don't you tell us why did you join the meditation group coaching program?
Okay, wait. First off, can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah.
Kiara's saying I can hear her. Beautiful. Okay, that's all I need. So I am going to try to say everything I said again, but I probably won't be able to. So my biggest reason for joining the program was, as I said earlier, you guys are hilarious, truly. Hi. I don't know how you do this because I'm reading all the comments and I'm losing my focus.
You can do it. You can do it.
So
it's all here.
You first started advertising the program. I'm here. When you first started advertising the program, obviously what called me in was the money, right? So it was like, lose more money. Who can't, right? Right. But what kept me consistent throughout the entire program was wanting to shift that mindset. And at that point, as I was going through the entire 40 days, it was, this was non-optional for me. Mm-hmm. So I think I'd mentioned a funny little story of how non-optional it was for me. And it was, there was one particular day where I didn't think I was going to be able to make it on time. And it was literally hitting midnight. And I had mentioned we were driving around, I had mentioned to my husband, babe, I really need to get this meditation done now. And so I asked him if I could do the 11-minute meditation, which isn't the best sounding meditation, right? It's just, you're repeating har over and over and over
again. It's not super sexy.
No. Not super sexy, for sure. And so, I'm this poor guy's listening to this 11 minutes of this while he's driving and getting gas. And, it was actually kind of funny. We were laughing about it afterwards. But yeah. He was like, man, you did good. Even while we were driving, you did good. And people were staring. You still did good. And I had to get it done. There was no other way.
I love that.
Yeah, so that was kind of funny.
I love that. And I love how you made the meditation work for you. You weren't I have to be at home and I have to be sitting cross-legged on a meditation pillow and I have to do it in this situation. You made the commitment and then you freedom to just fulfill the commitment however you could, which is what it's all about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I wasn't going to stop living my life because of the
Right?
meditation.
Did you hear me?
Yes, you are like blurry right now. So can you see
Hello?
me? Or
You there?
yeah, I am.
Hello? Hello?
I'm here.
Mercury! So what I was saying, I don't know if you heard me at all, but what I said was, I love how you just like fulfilled your commitment. And, that's a lot of what Yogi Bhajan talks about is our key to happiness, our key to success is really about being consistent with our commitments and fulfilling them. Right?
Absolutely. That's what it was for me. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so, share with us a little bit about like how all of the things just started like flowing to you, how all of the money, all of the random gifts, like all the clients.
Mhm. Wow. So, I mean, I don't know how it all happened. It literally just happened out of nowhere. And so, I had done the meditation, and this was another reason I'll talk about why it was so important for me to do this particular one. So, I'm familiar with Kundalini. I had done it before, but I wasn't consistent. And so, one of the things that was really big for me was making sure that it was something that was non-optional, which ended up being that way. And I'm doing your next one because I loved it that much. So,
And I look so excited.
Yeah, I know, I'm excited too. So when I had done it before, I would do it for like 3 minutes, for 5 minutes, and I would notice that some really cool stuff would happen. Like I would get, a new client calling in, or I would get, a random check in the mail, even if it was like $3 or something. And so I would immediately like run into the kitchen and I would say, honey, abundance, look, I got abundance.
Yeah.
And he would laugh about it. He would say abundance, abundance. So that's like become our joke. Anytime we get anything, we're like abundance, abundance, and we'll like text it to each other too. So, but I wasn't consistent. And that was what was one of the biggest reasons for me to join the group, was that I knew that if I was in this group with other people, that it was something that was going to help me make it become non-optional, right? So not only did I receive all of the things that I received, not only did I make, over 4,000 of unexpected income, not only do I have like waiting lists, like I'm turning people away because I just can't take anybody on like anymore. It's amazing. It really is. But it was really being able to be with a part of a group that I could also do this with, and a part of a group that I knew was also had my back just as much as I had their back. So that for me, that drew me in.
I love that. I know that you actually made like really good like meditation buddy connections.
I did. So you had set up like accountability partners every 10 days. And like all of the women that I was partnered up with, like, we would text each other, one or two in particular that, I'm still like, hey, how are you doing? Which is really cool. So I made new friendships too.
Yeah.
And had I not been a part of that program, which to me is also abundance, right? Like when we talk about abundance, we think that it's just money, that we think it's just financial or material things, but it's not. There was so much more that I was able to gain from that, like new friendships. I healed old friendships, which there was one friendship in particular that was really tough for me that had ended. And during that time period, the person had contacted me. And so I was like, okay, this is kind of creepy. But it was something that I had wanted to heal, right? And so like that, so I healed old stuff. I, developed new friendships. I created partnerships with other people, other business people. So like it wasn't just money. There were so many other things. And on top of that, which I had mentioned in the pre-video before it messed up and we couldn't use it anymore, it shifted my mind to my husband's. So we no longer feel like we're locked by money.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Like what an incredible gift that like you gave yourself and your relationship and your husband by virtue of like an 11-minute meditation a day.
Oh yeah. It was literally 11 minutes. I mean, I'm not going to lie. The beginning of it was kind of like, oh my gosh, we're still doing this. And so I would look at the clock and I would be like, I only did 5 minutes. Like, what the hell? I can't even believe it's only 5 minutes have passed. But it ended up becoming something for me that was like my sacred space, my sacred time, where I was able to either retreat to the room. And my husband, I mean, my husband didn't do it with me. But he, on many occasions, he would listen to it because I would do it at night. So for me, it was, I had way too much stuff going on in the morning. And what I loved about it is that even though I wasn't necessarily live with you every single time or with the rest of the group, I still felt held by the group. And so I did it at night because that's what worked best for me. So just like I in the car, you know, on that ride, I wasn't like, honey, we have to go home right now so that I can do the meditation. It was more of, I'm going to do it when it works for me. And so that was also what kept me consistent with it too. But going back to what I was saying before, it ended up being the 11 minutes where to certain points, I was like, wow, that was it. That felt like 3 minutes, or like, oh my God. Like it was, yeah.
It was crazy how time like starts to fly the more you get like in the zone of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's incredible. I love that. And I love too, like, I don't know if you actually watch, like, because also like there's daily live meditations and then they're always posted in the group. So you could like be doing the meditation with the group, even if you're not doing it with the group. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I did do that for some of them. Like one of the things that for me that I always wanted to make sure was that I made the group coaching the lives. So that for me was okay, even if I can't do the lives of the meditation for the 11 minutes every single day, like I am definitely going to do the group coaching. And I think you had 5 within the last group.
Yep, 5.
Definitely make them all. I think there might have been one that I couldn't make for whatever reason. But yeah, there were times where if I had the time, I would go back and watch that live. And it was kind of like, oh, everybody's here with me, even though I was doing it by myself. But I still felt that way, to be honest with you, even when I was doing it by myself and I wasn't doing the live. I still felt the energy of the group. And so what I would do is I would just tap into the energy of the group of whatever time it was. And I would just imagine myself being there.
I love that. And you know, what's so cool is amazing. Like we both actually live in Connecticut, but we're not actually that close to each other. But like, I think what was also so cool is like, we had people in like Florida, we had people in Washington, we had people in California, like Louisiana, Colorado, like, and all of us were coming together in one online space to join in love and to join in possibility and to join in alignment of truth and prosperity, and that we can do this together.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that was one of the things that I think is so cool about this as well, because, you know, I can say, oh, I have friends in California or I have friends in Tennessee. I mean, I don't know that I'm ever going to go to Tennessee, but I have friends there, right? Like, it's really interesting because I think it connects you with people that you would never, ever connect with. And on top of that, it's also bringing like prosperity into your life, right? And who doesn't want that? And I think we talked about, I don't know if we talked about it in this one or the last one.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh my gosh, did I say this already? But like, you know, the prosperity isn't just money, right? It's so many other things.
It's so many other things. And it's when we realize that prosperity is a what's the word I want to say? Prosperity is a gift from the universe the more we step into our truth.
Absolutely.
Right?
And you connect within, you're stepping in your truth. Exactly. You're aligned, right? And that's exactly what the meditation did for me. One of the things that I was thinking about, and I know we kind of just decided to do this on the whim. So it's funny because, funny story, when you had texted me this, first off, this is my first Facebook Live ever. So I do videos in my Facebook group, but they're not live. So I just post them. So I'm like, why not? Let's do it. Like,
yeah, plug your Facebook group. What's the name of it? Plug it.
It's Embracing Your Inner Spark.
Gorgeous.
Thank you. So in the group, I do have videos that I post and I talk about a whole bunch of different things. So free content in there if you want to join. But anyway, so what I was going back to is when you text me and you're like, hey, let's do a Facebook Live. I was like, I've never done one before, so I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And I started to feel like the nervousness. And I was like, no, this is abundance. Like in some form, I'm like, this is abundance because this is what you've been wanting to do. And then I'm looking at the little calendar for today, and so it says, I am open and receptive to new avenues of income. I delight in the financial security that is constant in my life. And I'm like, holy shit, Ashley, like, can you believe that? And we just on the whim. But it's kind of funny.
It is kind of funny. And I just like, what I love about you, one of the many things I love about you is like, you're just like, you're with me. I'm like, F it, let's do this. And you're like, okay, let's do it.
I'm like, I don't know what it's going to look like, but let's do it. Let's try it. Why not?
It's like, you know, what's the worst thing that can happen? I think like pretty much the worst thing that could happen with like the technology fail, but you know, who cares?
And we're back.
And we're back. So it's like totally cool. I just want to also say, so like part of like what I did, so a lot of people, hopefully you know, I don't know if you do, that I have a new meditation group coaching program that is starting on September 10th. We're starting on Sunday night at 7 o'clock. And I'm so excited about this one because if the one that we did, the meditation we did the last time was this powerful for somebody like Lisette to earn over $4,000 in 40 days doing nothing besides meditating for 11 minutes. This one is even more powerful. This meditation is called the Magic Meditation because it literally has the capacity to remove all obstacles in your path for you to align with your destiny. So this is also called the Manifesting Meditation. It's called the Master Key Meditation. And we already have some incredible women, many of which who have gone through the previous program. So I know they hold like the most beautiful, loving, generous, high vibe energy. And we want more people to join us in this energy of love and excitement, abundance and prosperity and possibility and manifesting. So the program starts on Sunday, and I also so a part of the way that I'm also sharing the abundance is that for people who have gone through my previous meditation group, they have the option to be an affiliate, and Lisette is one of the affiliates, and she's offering something you guys have to take advantage of. So tell everybody.
So it is a free 35-minute energy healing session. And so I always hate to say, you know, it's an energy healing session because it's so much more than that. Like, we're doing soul level clearing. And so I know that you had experienced it and you were like, oh my God, that was amazing. And it was a distance healing. And so, you know, it doesn't matter if you're in California, it doesn't matter if you're in Australia. Like, I've worked with people from all over the world doing these healings. And it's still the same as if I were in the same room with you. Mm-hmm. And it really is amazing because not only are we, you know, obviously we're working on the chakras, we're helping you align, also removing and releasing junk from certain parts of your body. So if I'm working with, let's say, your heart, right? So let's say there is... usually the heart is associated with self-esteem, self-love, things like that. So as we're removing all of the junk that's in there, we're imprinting it with something positive. And we're removing it from 4 layers. So we're removing it from your mental layer, from your physical layer, from your emotional layer, and your spiritual layer. So this is pretty intense healing. It's not like your normal energy healing that you might have experienced, or maybe some people haven't experienced it at all, but it's some pretty intense and deep stuff. And it's actually one of my favorite things to do. And so I'm advertising it as a free 35-minute healing session, but sometimes I go over time. So that.
And all I can say is I was going through a rough time about a month ago, I think, and Lisette was kind enough to offer me an energy healing, and I had oh, Kiara's so good. She put your thing on there. You know, Lisette offered me healing, and one time I had a distance Reiki healing, and I didn't feel anything at all. And I was like, I'm open to energy healing. So like, what the hell? Like, what have I got to lose? Like, she's offering it. I love her. Let's just try it out. And like, I went into it. I was kind of in a weird, funky place. I had some funky things going on in my life. And I literally felt Lisette's presence throughout the whole session. And when we were done, I was like, whoa, like I felt like a huge weight had been lifted off me, from me, and it was incredible. And the several days after that, I was totally aligned. I could not stop seeing angel numbers. It was like they were literally around me like so much, and I felt so like supported and protected. It was incredible. So so if you use Lisette's link, and she Kiara posted it, and I'll make sure that she posts her links to make sure it's correct as well later. You will get a free 30 minute healing session from her, and among all of the incredible things that you are going to get just by being a part of this group. And the group itself is $157. So like, let's set like it's like crazy. I'm figuring signed on to the meditation program again. I want to sign on with Lisette. I know. I said the same thing. I was like, I want to sign on with. I want to buy my own meditation program just so I can get an energy session with Lisette. I mean, that's like crazy. Hey, Tara. So you're welcome to repurchase the program and get something with Lisette, although I'm sure that she will also work something out with you on the side.
I was just thinking that maybe for the people who sign up, I'll give some discounts. I don't know. I'm feeling
But yeah, I really want to plug her because she's incredible. She has an incredible story, and she's an incredible healer. And what's most important to me about this whole thing is that we share the Kundalini love, that we share this experience, that we honor it, and that we support each other. And I signed up, caught like 2 minutes of this. I was like, yes, oh, yay. I love it. Yay, Andy. I'm so excited to have you.
glitches that we had.
I know. This is awesome. Yay. Andy Love is in with Kiara.
Badass group. Like, I'm excited.
I'm so excited. We are gonna have such a badass group, and so I'd be so honored if you guys are so excited about this. Like, share the video. We will be, just because like it's not about anything else other than just sharing the Kundalini love and to help align people with their own truth, so that they can feel abundance, so that they can feel prosperity, so that they can feel an effortless joy and ease and flow of life. You know, something that I talk about. Oh, sorry, were you gonna say something, Lisette?
No, I was just going to piggyback off of that, because I think that was one of the things that I experienced, like in totality, was just having a shift in the mindset, right? So like connecting with myself, we spoke about that. I think that was in the first video. So, you know, like one of the things that allowed me to bring in everything that I did bring in was connecting with myself and aligning, right? And so being able to get to that place where I realized that I was worthy enough to have come in. And so with that meditation, it was removing all of the obstacles, which is what the magic meditation that we're going to be doing is going to be, like literally removing all the obstacles. But I was already doing that because for me, it was non-optional, and I knew that I was worth it. And so that was something that was solidified through the meditation. So for the 11 minutes, I kept saying to myself, I'm worthy of this. And it completely shifted my mindset, which allowed me to attract everything that I was able to attract.
I mean, blown away.
Yeah.
Blown away. It's like if somebody told you that like in 11 minutes, if you meditated for 11 minutes a day and could earn $4,000, would you do it? Well, of course you would.
Especially if it was only like 150 something. I mean, I got way more than that, right? And monetarily, I got way more than that. But everything else that I created, or like the business ventures that I formed, or, you know, the phone calls that I had coming in, like all of that stuff was extra stuff, right? That doesn't necessarily have a monetary value to it, But the friendships I made, I mean, there's not a monetary value to that, but for me, that's invaluable. Right. And so how it shifted my husband's mindset, and he wasn't even doing the meditation, that was invaluable. Right. So those were all, if it was 100, how much are you selling it for? 157?
157.
Okay. So for $157 to get all of that, I would sign up like 20 times over.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, thank you, Julie, for sharing this. I hope your friend Marcy joins us, and you should join us too, Julie. I am so excited. I'm so blown away. I mean, it's just like it's just so like, here's the thing. It's like when people come together in the energy of love, like we have the ability to shift not only ourselves and each other, but like the energy of the planet. Absolutely. Right? Because all of us, when we are doing this type of work, it's all in a way so that we can better serve the world, right? And we can't serve the world until we start serving ourselves first. And we start tuning in with that energy. We start tuning in with that alignment. We start tuning into the universe to say, how will you use me? Yep. How will you use me? Where will you, it's A Course in Miracles. Where will you have me go? What will you have me do? What will you have me say, and to whom? How will you use me, universe? And literally, the Kundalini, what happens in the Kundalini is what they believe is that the mantra, so all of our negative thoughts and negative experiences sort of circle around in this sort of horizontal line within our souls and our bodies and our minds. And then what happens is with the mantra, it actually cuts through it, like literally cuts through it. And then it turns it into a positive. Essentially, like that's what they believe. And that's what starts to happen, because as you turn it into that positive, you start to become aligned with the truth of love, of possibility, of abundance, all of it. All of it.
And it's a totally different person.
And it's even, so funny. I was speaking, one of my cousin, she said it was okay that I share this story. My cousin actually joined us, and she literally just had a baby like 4 months ago, and she's this crazy working mom. And I'm sorry, I'm just like anyway, she's this crazy working mom, and she has like a side hustle business that she's trying to get going. And she works 12-hour days. She commutes like an hour each way. It's like crazy, nuts. And so what happened was she was only actually able to do the meditation for 12 days. But what she said was that even in doing it just for the 12 days, it was her biggest earning month in her side hustle.
Oh, I believe it. I totally believe it. Because again, it's shifting the mindset, right? It's like cutting through all the bullshit. It's shifting the mindset. It's allowing you to reconnect to yourself and be able to have the belief and the self-worth to say, I can have that. I can attract that into my life. Like I fucking own that. Right. And
girl,
right.
I own it.
And literally that, for me, that's what happened. And it's being able to say, even though this scares me, right? Because I think sometimes we fear having extra stuff coming in too, right? But even though this scares me, I know that I'm worthy of it, and I could also teach that, right? And you were talking about that before. It's about being of service, right? So everything that I do, the work that I do, is about being of service. But as you said, if I'm not taking care of myself, if I'm not feeling that I'm worthy of attracting whatever it is that I want to attract, then how in the world am I going to be able to teach other people to do the same thing? Like I can't. And I've been helping clients of mine, just even through that I've learned through your last group, and I can't even imagine what else is going to come up with this new group, but I've been teaching all of my clients the same stuff, and they're seeing abundance. Mm-hmm. So your work is carrying to places you don't even realize.
Oh my God, that's like blows my mind. It's so cool. I love the idea of how we are like just this ripple effect of love and possibility. I love that. I love that. And we have no idea that how we show up and serve the world, like how that has the possibility to change people's lives that we may never, ever meet. Like that blows my mind.
Yeah. So Nefra just posted something that I think was...
Nefra says, worthiness is so key. I was having so much negative self-talk around my health and defeatist mentality that totally shifted in the 40 days. Yeah, enough.
Yeah, and I'm glad that she wrote about that too, because I think I've said this probably a million times, but it's not about the money. Like that's what happens. Like you shift entirely, because if you're shifting your money mindset, right? Let's say, because that was what the meditation was this last month. It was shifting around prosperity and abundance, but that's also going to trickle into the rest of your life, like in parts of your life. So it's going to look different in the health, right? It's going to look different in your relationships with other people. Like that same mindset isn't just going to be in this particular area, right? You're going to use that in every single area of your life.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Money is just it's like it's like the mirroring of your alignment.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. And so like as you start to and sometimes I think too, like what people, if you don't necessarily get the same results as Lisette, like sometimes it's just about being able to show the universe that you are committed to the 40 days and showing up every single day.
Yeah. And that is like, we talked about this in the first group, but I mean, obviously it's worth repeating it now in the first video, but it's about the commitment. It's about showing up, right? Like when people talk about, which is what the next program is going to be about, right? Like manifesting and bringing more magic into your life, but it's about you aligning with that and being committed. Like manifesting isn't just, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to expect a random check to come in the mail, although it can be, but you have to do the work, right? Like you have to show up for it. So you have to do the 11 minutes a day. And for me, it was so many things. It was, I knew I was worthy enough to have those freaking 11 minutes to myself every single day. But I also was telling the universe, like, I'm ready for this, right? Like I'm ready to allow new things to come into my life.
I love that.
Consistent, showing up, like we have to show up.
We have to show up. If we're not showing up for ourselves, like what are we doing here? Right?
Yeah. So I am so excited for your new day program. Like
I'm excited too, and I'm so excited we did this Facebook Live. Oh my god.
Me too, and it was my first.
Yay! If anybody else wants me to get them out of the Facebook Live,
I know you might have created a monster.
We'll have to do this again, talking about something else. I don't know what, but we'll figure it out. But I love you so much. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm just like blown away by you and your story. Everybody, feel like go purchase from Lisette so you can get a 30-minute healing session from her. Like $157 for this group coaching experience for 3 days, live meditation plus the healing session from Lisette. Like it's a no-brainer. Like it's a real, true no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, so, thinking about like the amount of money, like you're basically getting this. It's like, and I posted this about it, and I sent it to my newsletter. Like you're getting two things almost for the price of one. Like my sessions are normally $175. So, this is a 35-minute meditation. So it's not quite the full 50-minute session, but we are still doing a full session in 35 minutes. And as I said before, I usually tend to go over in time. So you may end up getting, a little bit about 45 minutes or so for the 157.
Which is crazy. So like, go do it. I love you. Do you have to run? But we will talk soon.
Here.
Bye, Facebook. Go purchase from the link. Make sure, Lisette, you go and comment and make sure that's the right link, okay?
Well, Kiara helped me with it, so I think that's the right one.
Okay, cool. Bye.
Bye.